What's going on, you guys? Monitor Tuborao here, coming to bring you your next lesson in Capoeira, your first defensive posture and maneuver, which is called Esquiva. So before we get into this lesson, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, turn on your notification bell, and we're going to get right into the lesson. Hopefully you've already studied the other video, which is the Ginga. So let's go over what the Ginga is. The right leg is forward, left leg is back, hands are up to protect the chest, other hand is back, loaded if need be or relaxed. You don't want to give the appearance of someone tense. When you step out on your Ginga, you parallel and push over, and then when you push your right leg back, your other hand goes across your chest. So you're out, over, back, out, over, back. So what I want you to do to warm up is to Ginga. Remember your Ginga. The most important thing to remember to do is to Ginga, is to move. So I would rather you warm up with your Ginga for a minute versus anything else, because you actually want to warm up with the movements that you're going to use. If you don't do a dynamic warm up, a Ginga is your dynamic warm up. So let's Ginga. Control, no speed, no speed, just Ginga. Control, look for fluidity, look for smoothness. There we go. Just Ginga, back and forth. Boom, good. Make sure you're balanced. Make sure your Ginga is not tall like this. Make sure you sit in your Ginga about 2 to 3 inches down in your legs. So I'm 6'2", so when I Ginga, I'm at least 5'11". Body should be warming up. Boom. And now we'll get into the Esquiva. Now, the Esquiva, there are 2 different parts to it. But what we're going to learn today is called Esquiva lateral. Esquiva laterally. And what you do with Capoeira is when there is a kick or an attack coming at you, you go with the attack. So let's say I'm in my Ginga prep. I want you all to get into your Ginga prep. Left leg back, right leg front, and strong. What you're going to do is step out to your parallel, and act as if a kick is coming towards you. And what you want to do is lean over. Place this left hand flat on the ground. Protect here and lean. So the kick has a clearance to go over. Don't look at the ground. If you notice, I'm still looking at you. And then I could push back up into cadeira. Cadeira would be chair. Or I could push back up into Ginga prep. Once again, let's do it. Esquiva lateral to the left. Step out. The kick's coming. I dodge. I push back up. Back into Ginga prep. Let's Ginga to the other side. Here, boom. So let's say the kick is coming across this way. Now I step out paleo. I'm watching the kick, hand flat on the ground, arm across the chest or up higher if need be, but I prefer across the chest here so I can see the clearance of the kick. Hand is flat down. Also notice my hand is not turned this way. It's not turned forward. It is turned backwards like a kickstand. So therefore I have a good clearance and a good weight balance on my arm. And then I could push back up into Ginga prep. Again, step out, shift your weight over, go with the kick, Esquiva, and back up. Now, notice I just said go with the kick. If I was in my Ginga and the kick was coming this way and I stepped out to go Esquiva to the left, I would run directly into the kick. You want to make sure that you flow with and not against. You flow into that, and because your hand is flat, like it should be, you'll have great balance, and you can move on from there. So, let's take a look at what Esquiva would look like in fluid motion. So I'm going to do 2 Esquivas. I'm going to Esquiva and come back Paleo right now. Esquiva, Paleo, and then Ginga prep, right? Esquiva, Paleo, and then Ginga prep. But what you ultimately want to do is Esquiva and go right back to Ginga prep. So here it is, Esquiva, Ginga prep. Don't lose eye contact. Esquiva, Ginga prep. Esquiva, Ginga prep. Esquiva, Ginga prep. That's how you want to be controlled. That is your first dodge movement. Remember, don't pull back from the kick. Stay engaged with the kick. Wait until the kick gets close to you to Esquiva. Don't anticipate the kick. Does that make sense? So what I don't want to do is be in my Ginga, and then I see the kick getting ready to come, and it's barely lifted off the ground, and I anticipate, and I jump into Esquiva really fast. What that's going to do is get me caught. So timing is everything. That's why you want to move slow. And that's also why you have to keep your eyes up. So I'm going to wait until the kick almost gets to where I think it can connect, and I'll flow with it to create that clearance. And then there are other movements you can go into after that, as long as your hands are placed the right way, which is backwards, upside down. Once again, I'll freeze with it. When I Esquiva left, my fingers are going to point backwards towards the mirror as my hand goes down. I'm protected against the chest, just in case anything comes here. And if they try to come any higher, I've got the elbow or whatever the case may be. I Ginga to the other side. I see the kick coming. My hand is twisted backwards when I land and towards the mirror. And I'm protected across my chest, elbow, whatever the case may be. And I'm completely protected. That is Esquiva lateral, okay? When you use Esquiva lateral fluidly, you can go into things like Hole afterwards. And Hole is another evasive movement or repositioning movement, which appears as such. You can go right into it, as long as you have good body control and you're not rushing it. You can just Esquiva, Hole, ow. There's a lot of different options. However, what we're focusing on right now is Esquiva lateral, side to side. Easy lesson. Make sure you practice. 3-minute rounds. Esquiva lateral right, Esquiva lateral left. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, turn on your notification bells, and I'll catch you in the next lesson.